Testing 1 2 3. Test, 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 test. 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Summer's wrapping up and life is picking back up. Early mornings, long days, and a to-do list that doesn't quit. And neither should you. Who has time?
The facts, dates, and events presented in this video are from the member's best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video are our own and do not necessarily represent my employer's positions, strategies, or opinions. All views shared are protected under the National Labor Relations Act.
Guys, we're now in tune with the boss of the business, the What the Heck Show on UnionPowerRadio.com.
facts, dates, and events presented in this video.
All right, guys, I'm having
That's
crazy
may not be fully accurate.
technical difficulties.
video-
The Mixler is not going up. I don't know. It's my bad. I just came from the general. What's up, guys? Let me just start it off like this. Thank you for listening to the What the Heck show here on Union Power Radio. You can see us on YouTube, and then I'll put it all this recording into the Mixler, so it could repeat this show all the time. But you have YouTube here, and people are looking and not listening. The Mixler is down, and it's my fault because I did a radio check yesterday, and I was rushing from the general membership meeting back here to upstate New York, and I thought everything was running perfectly, and then all of a sudden I put record and everything started going crazy. But anyway, thank you for listening to the What the Heck show here on Union Power and looking at the Union Power Radio on YouTube. Please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now, and they will give you alerts when I go on the air. So I'm going to just be straight up with you guys, and I'm just going to get the elephant out of the fucking room because all this bullshit that's going on with this guy Alejandro on Local 804, and I'll say his fucking name because I'm not made like him, like he says. I'm not made. I'm different. I'm straight up, my man. So whatever. I know he's gonna come back at me with his podcast and say, "Oh, the frog, the freak, the frog." Man, whatever. Speak whatever you want to speak about. I'm gonna speak what I'm gonna speak about. And it's the fucking nonsense that you're speaking about. And I'm going to be straight up with you because a lot of stuff, you were a little bit all right, and I was with you, but then you lose me. You lose me with this millionaire shit that's always said, Sean O'Brien's a millionaire. He don't have the time in the world. Why do you give a fuck about anybody else's pocket? I don't get that. I don't understand why you somebody else's pocket. You should be worried about your pocket. But anyway, I'm just going to be straight up with you and tell you, listen, he says the pension sucks and people can't retire because the pension sucks. And I put it out there. You don't know everybody's financial reasoning of staying longer than the 25 years to 55. You don't know that they have kids in college. You don't know if they got young kids or they need to pay the mortgage and they want to work a couple of more years after their retirement. You don't know none of that. And for you to be after them and saying, they got a shitty fucking pension because of the fact that, hey, they didn't retire, that's none of your fucking business. It's none of my fucking business. It's nobody's business if they decide to stay longer than they're supposed to because of financial reasons. So when you say the pension is it sucks because people can't retire, it's up to them if they want to retire. You know what I'm saying? It's up to them if they want to retire. It's not up to us to be judgment and say, oh, he can't retire because he got a fucked up pension. Dude, how fucked up it was. You never spoke about a pension in the Tim Sylvester's time or Eddie Viata time. And I'm going to get into a lot of that shit because you say it's not political. It's totally political for you. It's totally political for you. You want your name to be out there and say, oh, Alejandro knows shit. Instead of saying Teamster X Media, it should be saying Teamster X Clueless Media. And then you put yourself as a journalist, as a press person, you are a fucking truck driver. Just reality check. You are a fucking truck driver. It's crazy that you say that you're an independent journalist. That is bullshit. It is fucking crazy. You get your information from the West Coast, from Edgar, and whoever's telling you whatever you want to hear in your ear. That's what you report. They don't have the information. You're not doing your investigation. You're not doing anything. You're just listening to what they're telling you about the 3 people that call you. Because you say that you have 1,000 people calling you. I beg to differ. I beg to differ that you got 1,000 people calling you. Believe me. You see, listen, anybody, please. He needs friends. He has no friends. He needs a friend. He needs someone to talk to. And he's getting on fucking Facebook every hour on the hour for what? to have 3 people to look at him and have 1 like from the fucking West Coast, please. He says that I only have 3 fucking views. Well, guess what? Okay, and so let's take your 3 views and my 3 views, and we'll make it 6 views. How's that? Makes you happy. So what? You don't have you're going after Sean O'Brien. Listen, I'm gonna explain myself about Sean O'Brien because Sean O'Brien, I never liked Sean O'Brien back in the days when he was with Hoffa. Never did. Never did. And I proved it because I was all over Facebook putting him down and thinking that he's a thug and this and that and that and that. But guess what? I grew up. I grew up, and sometimes you have to make changes. And I made the change. I made the change because he started running with Fred Zuckerman, and I made a change. I gave him a chance to prove what he needs to do to make this union a better union. Okay, I started with him at this part. I wasn't close to him like that. I was like, I'm gonna do it by measurements. I was with him like this. I'm at where I'm at right now today. I'm this far away from him right now because there's a lot of shit that is going on. But to tell you the truth, that little gap, that I have between me and Sean O'Brien and Fred Zuckerman is my personal beliefs. Okay, it's not everybody's personal beliefs. I gave Sean O'Brien a chance, by giving him my vote. And I'm gonna let this person into the view. Okay. Make sure you mute yourself. Admit. All right. I'm admitting this person into the room. I'm on Zoom also, so if you want to join the Zoom, you're more than happy to join the Zoom and chime in and whenever you want. Just make sure when you gonna chime in, don't talk over me. Just go and raise your hand, and then we'll do the rest. All right. So, like I was saying to you guys, that when I went out there and voted for and then did the boots on the ground for Sean O'Brien and Zuckerman, this is how close I got to Sean O'Brien. This like this. It wasn't really a, hey buddy, you're my buddy now. No. I was just there because, hey, we needed a change from Hoffer, and the only one that had the chance was Sean O'Brien and Zuckerman, because the other slate, that shit was a corrupted slate. As you know, they already all got fucking indicted for a lot of shit. So we went the way that everybody voted, which was Sean O'Brien. Where I'm at today, I'm this far away from them because I got some other reasons. I'm not hating on them and I'm not complaining about it, but you have other people that are hating and complaining. Now, when I say that I'm this far away, now you got this Richie Hooker, and I know Richie Hooker since whatever, and he is not a international president. I can tell you that right now. I don't give a fuck. When anybody tells me, to this day, I would, if he was, I will fucking help him to get voted into the international. If he was, but he's not. That's why I can't. Is there any other candidates out there that's running against Sean O'Brien? Come on, show me what you got. Richard don't have what it got to be an international fucking. He has hate and he has complaints, but he has no solutions. What are you know what I'm saying? What is your solutions? And then oh shit. Yeah, that's me. Then you have Leslie, can you put your mute button, or I'll do it for you. Hold on a second. There you go. All right, so him going after Sean O'Brien, and he's a flip-flopper, because I got a text saying that he was saying that Richard Hooker was no good. He's not feared. He's scared and that. And now he's saying Richard Hooker is fearless. Come on, stop fucking bullshit and gaslighting the fucking membership. There's a lot of things I got to talk about that he was talking about that really pissed me off, and that's what made me come into the radio, because a lot of things that he said was really pissing me off. Now, for instance, he's going around telling people that he's running with Boz. Okay, newsflash, stop gaslighting the fucking membership, because I don't know if Boz is bullshitting you or bullshitting people or you're bullshitting people. Both of y'all bullshitting is not gonna fucking work, okay? Like you say, it's not gonna work with you. You know, I'm a different type of man. You ain't no fuck. Listen, you keep saying yourself that you're from the Bronx, that you've been to a fight. I bet you got beat up in every fucking goddamn fight. You didn't win any fight. I can tell you that right now because that's the. Please, you don't know how it is to be out in the street. So don't even play that shit that you trying to say that you're tough, and it's not about being tough, and it's not about being like you want to fight against, because you can't fight. I can tell you that right now. You're a bitch, and I'll say it right now. You're a bitch. You can't fight. You scared to fucking fight. You're a police caller. That's what you are. So don't act like you're tough, and then you come from the fucking Bronx. You probably come from where Tuckahoe, where is it? Trosneck area of the Bronx, which is real nice over there. But anyway, you're not from the fucking, you're all from the Bronx, but you're not the tough guy like you say you are. Okay? Bullshit. All right? So anyway, and it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be that you're calling out a principal officer for a fight. You know, you're crazy. Because if it was a ring match that you and Sean O'Brien, I got all my money on Sean O'Brien, not because your big mouth, it's because he'll whip your fucking ass. Anybody will whip your fucking ass. A blind guy will fucking whip your ass. That's what it is, man. You're not that tough guy. You're not that guy. So stop trying to portray a person that you're fucking not, okay? You keep saying that you was in gang fight. You was in none of that shit, my man. And I know for a fact that you got bitch slapped a couple of times in your center. So don't fucking bullshit me and don't bullshit the membership. Be straight up. Tell them what your solution is going to be. Okay, instead of fucking going after and trying to help out Richard Hooker after you wrote down, and I'm going to show the text to everyone what you wrote down about Richard Hooker, and now you're flip-flopping over to Richard Hooker. You're a fucking you've been a flip-flopper. You've been a flip-flopper for years in Local 804. People in Local 804 are just dying to bump into you, just to fucking bump into you to see how you act. So anyway, I don't want to make the whole show about this, but you know, he brought it out for me because the shit that he was saying, as far as the shop steward, 85% and 95, he said between 85 and 90% of the shop stewards in Local 804 are all management kiss asses. I beg to differ on that, my man. And that's fucked up that you say that. You want to run for fucking Local 804 office knowing that you think that 85% to 90% of the shop stewards are ass kissers to management. Dude, are you fucking insane? Now, if you would have said 1%, 2%, I probably would agree with you because there is 1% or 2% shop stewards that are ass kissers to management. But when you say 85% to 90%, that's pretty much the whole workforce, the whole shop steward. How the fuck you want to come into office knowing that you are going to be against the shop stewards? Please, you are way out of your league. Okay, you was quiet for a while. I was the only one in the executive board that was answering your phone until you called me and tried to be Mr. Tough Guy over the fucking phone. And I told you, keep the same energy when you see me face to face. Straight up. Just keep the same energy. You're going to call my phone on a Sunday to try to disrespect me. And I told you, relax, think what you're saying. Think what you're saying. And you kept on saying, you're fucking out of the office. You're fucking had. You're done. You're fucking done. You're fucking done. I gave him the chance to calm the fuck down, and he didn't. I hung up on him, and now to this day, he's blocked. He is now blocked from everybody in the executive board because no one was talking to him at all but me. Okay, and he was quiet for a while, and I understand why he was quiet for a while. I'm not going to put his business out there, but I know why he was quiet for a while. I really, really know why he was quiet for a while, but that's all good. Now he's out. He's on fucking Facebook every 15 minutes telling him, oh, I just got up. I don't have the benefits I don't have the benefits like John O'Brien to have the time to be on the fucking Facebook. Who wants to know that you're going to work? I don't. It's tiring. Who wants to know that you finished getting out of work? Tiring. You did it. If you would have done it one or twice, yeah, it's passable. You do it every fucking time. I don't know what the fuck you want people to see. That you are upset, you're an upset Teamster because you think the pension in 2023 was fucked up. You wasn't making this noise when Tim Sylvester, Eddie Viata, or Redmond was in office. You wasn't making that was back then when the pension was fucking $3,900. And we didn't get a pension increase for a long, long time. And let me get it straight. You do have more time than me. You're a 2003, I'm a 2007. Okay? So I don't know what happened before 2007. That's 4 years before me. You know that, but you're not bringing any of that up. All you're bringing up is whatever the presence that people are talking to you and giving you wrong numbers, and you're accepting it and saying I'm doing the investigation. I'm an independent motherfucker. Let me just verify. You are a truck driver, just like me. A truck driver, okay? No special schooling, but driving school, okay? So journalist, independent, Teamster X Clueless Media. That's what you should call yourself because you're clueless. You're clueless. You're trying to make noise where it shouldn't be making noise. If you're telling the members that you're running with Boz, and Boz is saying that you're not running with him, something is fucking wrong with you, bro. You're living a world of a fantasy, okay? I don't know who will pick you up. And if anyone does pick you up, they must be out of their fucking brain just like you are, okay? You need to go to the doctor, brother. All those twitching and all this your eyes are twitching and you're on the video and your eyes are going crazy. Yo, bro, go to the doctor, man. Something's wrong. Something's wrong, brother. And then you say you have an IQ of 300 with Teamsters. Get the fuck out of here, brother. Because if you would have had a 300 IQ, you would have been at fucking NASA, making a rocket or something, how to get to the fucking moon with a 300 IQ. You're a fucking truck driver, brother. Maybe you got it all twisted around. Maybe it's 003 IQ. But you say IQ of 300. Come on, man. Stop the fucking bullshit. It is enough, bro. If you're planning to run with Boz because you're gonna put yourself on the ballot with Boz, because the rumor is this. Boz is denying the fact, all right, to all you 804 members out there that he's gaslighting and saying, oh, I'm gonna run in 2028 with Boz. Okay, maybe Boz is bullshitting too. But Boz is a bullshitter to me. You know, this is the guy that's running for office in 2028 for the principal officer. This is a guy that was supposed to be with us. And I keep saying this in every show because he thinks that it's going to go away. It's the truth. You never pick a title over the members. Never, ever, 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 ever. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Okay. And he had the opportunity to be a business agent in EMS, and he turned it down because he wanted to have a bigger title into being in UPS. I mean, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. Whoop, scratch that off. All right. Into the union, to EMS. He was supposed to be with EMS, and then what happened was he took the title instead. He didn't want to be a business agent. So to be a business agent, you got to represent the membership. He should have just took the title as a business agent and represented the membership. And he chose not to do that. He chose a position over the membership, which leads to believe that even if he runs for president of local, he's going to choose that title of president. He just wants the title. What's he going to do to represent the members? But, he's going now, looking around, looking underneath the barrel to see who he could pick to be in his slate. Now, you're going to have people on his slate that you never heard of. I never heard of. 19 years, never heard of. It's going to be guys with 25 years. Never heard of these guys. You're going to get people that you never heard of in the union, never union activity, never went to general membership meeting. And by the way, today was a general membership meeting at 9 o'clock for shop stewards and 10 o'clock for general membership. No Galano. No Antonio, no Alejandro in the picture, which I already know. He's not going to come in to a place where everybody's looking to bitch slap his ass. He's not going to come. But we're not going to allow that to happen. We just want him to come to the general membership meeting to get educated and see what's going on. Not like when Tim Sylvester was there and he used to wear a referee shirt with a whistle. And just it's crazy that he talks about that on his Facebook. Like he's called all these fucking whistleblowing clowns. And then he was the fucking whistleblowing clown when Tim Sylvester was there. He was a whistle blowing with a referee shirt on. So he's contradicting himself with, he's saying it now that people are doing it, but he was one of those guys that did it. And I'm going to talk, it's just, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I was going to take a break for a while because I got some, things that I'm doing on another level. I was planning, I'm planning to get married and looking for a house, and I'm doing all that, and I really didn't have time to get on the radio on a Sunday, but this guy pulled me in. He was like, yo, come get me. I'm gotta come get you because you're fucking telling the false information to the membership. You're telling everything that you're hearing from other people, from John Gass, retired, that he knows the pension 100%. It's on Facebook when Vinny blows him the fuck up and asks him questions that he can't even answer. So this is the information he's getting from. He's getting information from Edgar from the West, which is another hater. He hates everybody. He hates fucking Hoffa. Anybody that goes into office, he hates. So I don't know who he's gonna, the Mickey Mouse guy was gonna run. He didn't like him either. He didn't like Sean O'Brien. He don't like nobody. So the thing is that Edgar from the West Coast, maybe you should run for fucking president. Maybe you'll hate yourself too, being in the office, because shit, you hate everybody, and whatever, it is what it is. But he's getting his information from those people. He's not really doing internal investigation because he doesn't have the time, like he says, because he's always on. You see him on Facebook. Oh, I'm just getting up. I'm going to work. The feeders, if nobody knows, is building 5555455. Come on, it's if you did it once or twice, I got it. You do it all the time, it's just fucking stupid and sick, and it's, I don't know what attention you need. You need friends. I was your friend until you made that phone call. Okay, and I gave you a pass from the last time. I gave you a pass from the last time because you got my information. You didn't get my information. You just was rumors has it, because that's what your radio show should be. Rumors has it, because it's all about rumors. And you say it yourself, everything is a rumor. It's not really and you didn't do your investigation too good, so it's rumors. So he put my business out there, personal business, and I did not accept it. I would never put his personal business out here in any platform, and he did it, and I was gonna do something about it, to tell you the truth. But I gave him a pass. I gave him a pass because he apologized maybe 5 times. He called me and he apologized, and I said, listen, if you want to talk about me, you could talk about me all you want. You could say whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck. You say I'm a frog, I'm in the boiling air, and I say you're a fly. I say, you know what frogs eat? Annoying flies. You're a fucking annoying flies. He says that there's no balls. The frogs don't have balls. You're right. And females don't have balls. And stop wearing a skirt. So if you come at me, I'm going to come at you. That's the way it is. And it is all right. As long as we keep the families and your personal life out of it, I'm good with it. You can tell me I have 3 ears, 2 eyes, 10 eyes, whatever the fuck you want to say about me. I don't care, because I learned this in 2nd grade. Sticks and bones may break my bones, but names will never harm me. So you can talk all the smack you want about me, but when it comes to family, you need to shut the fuck up, because and then you got to come correct. Okay, so stay on your lane and stay on the side of not bringing any families involved. And I won't bring any families involved, because believe me, I could, because I got a lot of information. Because I'm a independent journalist, like you said. I'm a fucking truck driver. Jesus Christ, you're a truck driver. If you didn't understand that, you getting up in the 9 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night to go to work. You're driving a fucking truck. Okay, so you don't need that much IQ and you whatever. Anyway, so what pissed me off was when he said about the 85 to 90% shop stewards are all management guys. That really pissed me off because that's majority more all the fucking shop stewards in local 804. And there's some real great shop stewards in local 804. If he would have said 1 to 2%, I guarantee you I would have been on his side with, yep, he's right. But he's wrong on this one. And I just want to apologize, seriously, or he needs to apologize to all the shop stewards that do a great job for Local 804. And he needs to apologize. And this is the guy that wants to run for office. This is a guy that wants to be a business agent. This is a guy, maybe, I don't know, because I don't know what his fantasy is leading him to. And I don't know what Boz is thinking by having him in his slate is a fucking joke. I mean, Boz is a joke, and now you bringing in another joke is another big joke. But good luck with that shit, though, Boz. Seriously, good luck with Alejandro. Alejandro is the type of person if he don't agree with you, he'll pull out his recorder, he'll record you, and then he'll play it to make it look like you're the bad guy. And you can, and he did it. He did it with Eddie Viata and crew. Eddie Viata took him out of office for 3 weeks to do a vote no campaign with Kamar. He was out. The union was paying him to be out. He was out of the truck and he was campaigning for 3. So he thought, damn, I'm getting into the hall. Eddie's gonna bring me into the hall, and that's where he started spreading. I'm gonna get into the hall. Yeah, he's gonna appoint me as a representative to the hall. He lived a fantasy world. They just pulled him for 3 weeks, but he thought that he was gonna go into the hall. So when that day came that he wasn't going into the hall, he had to go back to the truck. He says, fuck this. He started recording them inside the fucking hall. He started recording personal conversations, stuff that he was getting them out of there. Like, he asked Danny Montalvo if he has any morenos. If you guys don't know what morenos means in Spanish, is black guys in his slate. He says, are you going to, he baited him right for that conversation. And then you hear him on the recording saying, no, are you crazy? I'm not going to have no morenos in my slate. Dude, he set you up to put that out there. And that's what Alejandro Galano does. He investigates. If he don't like you, he's going to record you. So be in the lookout. When you're talking to Alejandro, make sure that you're saying things that just matters between the conversation. Don't say anything extra. Don't say anything extra because he is recording you and he will play it out to make you look like a fucking fool. That's what he does. That's what he does. This is what 804, that's what we have here. We have a guy that is not happy with himself. And if you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy with anybody. And it bothers me when he says, brothers, I spoke to a brother. Nobody wants to be your brother. Okay? No, I'm seriously, nobody, blood or fucking Teamster, don't want to be your brother, bro. I don't know why you keep saying brother and you're the Teamster, you're the great Teamster. Let me tell you what's a great Teamster. Not you. I can tell you that right now. Not you. A great Teamster is that he does Teamster activities to help other Teamsters to pass bills and to pass anything that to do with helping the Teamsters get bigger and stronger. You don't do none of those stuff. You're not a fucking Teamster brother, bro. You're a dues paying member. Yeah, you have to because you're in a union shop. But as far as a Teamster, and you're saying about these guys wearing $150,000 jacket, dude, just your jacket that if you wearing one and it's $30 or $50, you shouldn't be wearing that $30 jacket, man. You don't deserve to wear a Teamster jacket because you're not a fucking Teamster. You're a fake Teamster. You're the type of Teamster that will pull a push a fucking Teamster underneath the bus for your benefits. Okay, so we're gonna go into that also because you was a shop steward for a hop, skip, in a minute, and you were doing everything possible to not be the shop steward like the management shop steward. You keep saying about 85 to 90% of the people in local order 4 are management shop steward. Guess what? You were one of those fucking guys. You were one of that. I say 1 to 2%. You were one of those 1 to 2%. Okay, by going into PCMs before the PCM and having a PCM of you and management before the members. Only one thing could happen with that shit, because you're kissing management and management is going after somebody and you're fucking there to I never heard of shop steward going to a management PCM. Never heard of it until I heard it was you. Okay, and I couldn't. I listen. And if whoever said it, I would have believed whoever, the devil. The devil would have told me that you was in there. I would say, "Yep, you're right. That's him. That's the type of person Alejandro is." Okay, he's not for the membership. He is fucking far from the membership. He don't give a fuck about Fulano. He don't give a fuck about Raul. He don't give a fuck about Henry. He don't give a fuck about anybody that's in the Teamsters. He cares about himself and his podcast of rumors have it, Teamster X Clueless Media, because that's what it is, clueless. He's clueless to everything. He's got to understand that he's a truck driver. That's all you got to understand. Pay and you are 50. You're saying you're 51 years old. All right. You have 20. What is it? 4 years. You got 23 years on the job. Okay. You got 2 more years to retire. Okay. You got 4 more years to hit 55. Let's do the math here. Okay, you're talking about all these guys that cannot retire at 25 and 55 because you say the pension is fucked up. Well, let me break it down to you. You're not going to be able to retire at 25 and 55 because you have young kids. And of course, you got to work to make sure that they get college in there. Okay, so you're going to be working past your 25 years. And if you don't, good luck, man. I hope your kids go to college. That's all I could say. Start saving. You should have started saving back then. But you're going to be working past your 25 years. We'll look into it in another, 4 years when you're ready to retire. When it's time for you to retire with your 55 and 25, we'll come back to it. And I guarantee you, Alejandro is still working unless, you do something stupid and get yourself fired. But if that's the case, I will see you when you're supposed to get retired. And let's see if you retire, because you're going to retire before me. All right. So I'll be here, and I'll be here telling, showing, hey, why you not retiring? Guy, the pension's not good. That's why. No, bro. It's guys that have issues that the reason they don't retire at a certain time is because they have kids in college. They got to keep up the payments of college. College is expensive. They could have financial something. They just bought a house instead of, having a house for the past 25 years. They got financial things. So it's okay to work past your fucking retirement time. You make it sound like it's a crime because it's a bad pension. Listen, they went from $3,900 to $5,170 right now. $5,170 is what people could take into retire. A lot of people stood back because they wanted to see if it was more of an increase. Vinny Perron already did 3 increases within the time that we were in office. 3 increases, okay? And the medical is 100% great in Local 804. I mean, I enjoy it, and I enjoy the fact that the doctors, the reception is like, wow, your fucking medical is great. $10 co-payment, $15 co-payment at the pharmacy. So everything is moving in the right direction. As far as, what the company is doing, as far as these cutbacks and closing buildings, we have no control over that. The union doesn't have any control over that. It is what it is. We'll put in a lot of articles to go to arbitration on certain things, but that's what we can do. We can't just go into them and say, you cannot shut down that building. They're going to do what they're going to do as operations under Article 17. Read it. Read the contract. We can't tell them how to run their operation. Simple as that. All right. So he's going to come back at me, guys. He's going to come back with his podcast of the Boiling Frog. So let me get this shit out of the system right now, and you heard it from me directly. So the only thing he has is this incident that happened 15 years ago, back in when I was a driver and a shop steward. And I'm gonna break it down to you from the beginning. So then when he says it, you're gonna see a lot of gaps on whatever he's gonna do. That whatever the case, he's gonna make it look like I'm the bad guy and whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna let you know right now, I didn't do anything, but let him tell his side of the story. So you're gonna hear my side of the story now. So it was a guy named Jose that was in Brush Avenue, which is the Bronx, and I was a shop steward back then. And he asked for to do have I wasn't in charge of the transfer because I wasn't in the executive board. All I could do is pressure who the business agent to he wants to move to a different building. Can you see how the transfer list is, and if his seniority fits in, he can go. So what happens is that they wasn't calling him for a transfer. I called the business agent. The business agent said, "Oh shit, he's next on line to go to Manhattan North." So his transfer came in. He was happy like a pig in shit. He went to the building that he wanted to be in, which is Manhattan North, whatever the case. So he didn't think about the grass ain't green on the other side. So he didn't like being in Manhattan North, and he wanted to come back to Brush Avenue. So what happened was he passed his 2 weeks in the contract. You have to give 2 weeks to the management, and the management has up to 30 days to send you back to the thing. So he went past the 30 days. So now he's officially in Manhattan North. So he kept calling me and said, "Come on, man, you can make it happen. You can bring me back to Brush." And I said, "Dude, I can't do that. It goes by seniority, brother. It doesn't work that way. It happens to be that I made a phone call and you were there to go to that, and they made it happen. But if you was like 10 guys ahead of you, you would have to wait till those 10 guys get called first before they call you as a seniority. But you were there, so you went. I can't do nothing about it." He said, "Oh, you're fucking bullshit. You could make it happen. You're a piece of shit. You just trying to keep me up here." He was blah, 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 telling me everything in the book about how I fucked up. I didn't fuck up. All right. He was telling me, "Oh, yeah, you think you tough. You didn't." It was nothing about being tough. I said, "Yo, dude, don't call me no more. I'm not your business agent. I'm not your shop steward no more. Deal with the shop steward in North Manhattan North." And I hung up the phone with him. Well, before I hung up the phone with him, he says, "I'll see you." Okay, you'll see me. So two or 3 days passed by, and I was walking out of the building. I would just finish my shift. It was about 6 p.m. At night. And it was a supervisor at the overhead door there named Danny Moyle, piece of shit supervisor. I didn't like him from the beginning. I don't like him to this day. But anyway, so I was leaving with my alternate shop steward, which is Lonnie, and we were walking, and all of a sudden we hear motorcycles coming, and it was 2 motorcycles. They parked right across the street from the Pepsi, and I was across the street, and then the parking lot. I was on the side of the parking lot. So as I'm walking to the parking lot, all you hear was somebody say, "Bitch." So, and anyway, I look back and it was them two. It was Jose, and I forgot the other guy's name. Mosley, I think his name. Yeah, Mosley. And then I turned around and I said, "Which one of you called me bitch?" None of them said nothing. So I just kept walking. And then he said it real loud that the supervisor at that overhead door heard it. And I heard it. And I definitely turned around this time and I went into the middle of the street. And the reason I'm telling you this because he's going to do different stories. And I just want you guys to understand my side of the story because he's going to put it on podcast that, I got a member fired, but that wasn't even the case. So I went to the middle of the street. The supervisor came running from where he was. And he told that guy, Jose, "What's up? What's going on? What's going on?" And I said, "I don't know. Somebody's calling me a bitch, but not talking. They're not talking." All of a sudden, that guy, Jose, became Mr. Tough Guy because the supervisor was there. He was like, "Yeah, man, I'll fuck you up. I'll fuck you up." I said, "Well, it's nothing but air between us. So bring what you're going to bring and let's get it over with like men." So he was being tough, and the supervisor said, "No, you guys got." He like, Hector, you need to leave, and you guys need to leave. Right now, this is outside the property, not in the property. It was across the street, in the Pepsi um, um, property. So he wasn't gonna do shit. The guy Mosley didn't do shit. He was quiet. He wasn't even involved. He like fucked it. I'm gonna let that guy get his ass whipped. But Mosley was nothing to do with it. And I told Labor from the beginning, he's not the one you want. You know, he's not the guy. He didn't say nothing. He didn't do anything. He's not the guy. It was Jose. So anyway, so I got into the car and I'm leaving out of the park, and they get into their motorcycles and they zoom right by me in front of me. So I said, okay, they left. I go up towards Target, if you guys know where Brush is at, and nobody was there. You know, they wasn't there waiting for me, nothing. So I just went home. I just went home. So Danny, Mr. Danny Boy, decided to put a report in about them coming from Manhattan North to come over here to start a fight or whatever the case may be. They pulled me into the office. They said, "Do you want to make a statement?" I said, "Statement for what?" I said, "They didn't do shit. They were just talking shit." I said, they didn't do shit to me." "Oh, no, but that's violence in the workplace." I said, "Not really. It's not. It's out off the property." I was trying to say, don't leave it alone, let it go. But they wanted to do what they wanted to do. So what happened was they questioned those two guys. What I say every time when I tell you guys, when you go into the office, tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Don't fucking lie. Because if they're asking you the same question twice or three times, that means they already have you. They just want you to fucking lie so they could get you lying during an investigation and discharge you. So those two, the main guy, Jose, lied during the investigation. He told the company that he wasn't there to start a fight or start anything with another union member or another employee. He was there to visit his uncle in Pepsi, at the Pepsi where they were standing at. So UPS said, "Oh, you have an uncle in Pepsi?" So LP, I believe it was John Menyon at that time. John Menyon knows everybody in the Bronx. He's a retired sergeant or whatever the case may be. He's an LP guy. So he called up Pepsi and spoke to the head security guy there and asked Jose what was the uncle's name. And Jose gave him a bullshit name. And then it turned out to be that Jose was lying during investigation. So he got fired for instead of him saying, "Hey, nothing happened. We're good now," he would have still kept his job. He told the truth. And that's why I tell you guys, tell the fucking truth. It's better off to tell the truth and don't lie. So anyway, he got fired for lying during investigation, and right behind him, Mosley went into the office and did the same lie that Jose did. So they got him for lying during investigation. And back then, they had a bullshit business agent. I think it was I don't know the name. He was with the Tim Sylvester slate, and they didn't fight. They didn't fight because I mean, as me as a business, I would have fought that to the fucking fullest, and they probably none of them would have got fucking fired. But anyway, that's just me. But they both got fired. So then Alejandro Galano, you know, feels that I'm the one who got them fired. But that's what he's gonna say, and that's what he's gonna make it look like I'm the bad guy. This happened 15 years ago, guys. 15 years ago. So I just wanted you guys to understand that no, I wasn't involved in that. They lied during the investigation, and when you lie during the investigation, they have an upper hand on you and they will discharge you. And that was the case. Alejandro is gonna put a little salt and vinegar on it to make it look like I'm ratted them out and all this other bullshit. At all time when I was there, Lonnie Rice Rudo, which is was my alternate, witnessed the whole thing, and the story that I say is exactly what happened there. Labor could always come out and say I didn't cooperate with their investigation towards those two. I didn't write a statement. I said they didn't do anything. They was off the property. I try to make it that don't take it any further. They took it further by lying during investigation. So that's on them. It's nothing on me. But Alejandro, on the other hand, is going to make it look like I ratted on them. I wrote a statement. Yeah, well, guess what? Show me the statement. Show me that I did that. And then you have, and I've been asking for that proof for years, and it's 15 years now. You know, I'm 55 years old. I get over that shit, but I know on his podcast he's gonna come out with that bullshit just to make it look like discredit me and make me look like I'm the bad guy. He is a non-Teamster guy. I could tell you that right now. No matter what he's telling you, and he's waking up and telling you this and telling you that, he's a non-Teamster guy. Um, and it's crazy that I have to do a show of all the shit right now. Okay. So first thing I wanted to get straight about his podcast, his Facebook Live and Teamster X media, independent journalists. I mean, he makes all the journalists, they went to school for that type of shit. You're a fucking truck driver. You're not an independent investigator. An independent investigator will investigate a lot of shit that you're talking right now about Sean O'Brien doing this and that. You should have all that information. You shouldn't be spectating and saying rumors have it and rumors saying. And your investigation is Edgar, because Edgar, I can tell you that right now, Edgar from the West Coast is a smart guy. He is a smart guy, intelligent, very intelligent. I'm sure his IQ is high. He's intelligent, but he's hating, just like Richard Hooker and that guy from 808. They all haters and they complainers. They need solutions. Straight up solution. And then to have your name say fearless, you are the most scary. You scare of your own fucking shadow, Hooker. I remember the day when you first took office at 623 that you had no clue what the fuck you were doing. Members voted you in, but you had no fucking clue how to run a fucking hall. You came with the members' money to Local 804, and we taught you for the 2 weeks that you were here in a hotel, 4-star hotel by the union, by your union members paying it, your salary, so to learn how to be a principal officer in Local 623. And you took it and you ran with it, like Montado said. You came here, you needed help. Local 804 helped you out to how to run your local, and you using the same tactic that Vinny uses, like, you know, posting grievance checks and blah 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 blah. That's what you're doing. That's the same thing you're doing. Now, I'm a little bit crazy about, and listen, me and you spoke and we were cool. You came on a couple of my shows and blah blah blah. But your shows, at your Sunday live shows with the 8 people that listens and view you, all you're doing is complaining and hating and blaming, complaining, and you and the other guy, yeah, yeah, he's your cheerleader, the 808 guy, president guy, because he tried to run a couple of times and it fell for him also. So he's a principal officer at 808, and he's your cheerleader. Yeah, yeah. You go, boy. He's like your hype man and shit. When you talk, he's like, yeah, yeah. You know, it's fucking funny. Sometimes I watch, and sometimes I just like have to close it. Just like with Glenn, sometimes you want to listen to what he says, and you just like, he is annoying. It gets a fucking annoying. Maybe I get annoyed to you guys, and you just shut me down. That's okay. It's all good. You could do that. I do that. So with the complaints and the hate that you guys got over there, and you know, and let me tell you something. Someone called me from 623 and saying you're not never at 623. But anyway, what I wanted to show everyone, and I got a text message. I don't want to show the name of it, but I just want to show you what I was talking about. Maybe I could do it this way. Yeah, all right. So I don't know if you guys could see it. Here it is. You guys can't see it, but I'm gonna read it out to you guys. It's from Teamster X Media. So this is a guy that's saying that Richie Hooker is the best person to run for international president. But meanwhile, where's my glasses? I'm gonna read out what he wrote. And this is Alejandro, Teamster X Media, Teamster Clueless, Teamster X Clueless Media. And he wrote, Richard Hooker is not showing up at any UPS national panel conference for the craft, as well as the Pennsylvania conference for the Teamsters. And then he wrote here, he's scared, he's not fearless. He's far, far, far from fearless. This is him writing that down on Facebook. Okay. And now he's flip-flopping and saying, Rich is the best for the international. I'm telling you guys, I'm being straight up with you, and I don't do that shit on. Richard Hooker he's way over. He can't. Maybe in the future he would, but right now he just don't. He's not a international president. Not in my eyes. Maybe in the couple of guys that he has in their eyes, but not in my eyes. In my eyes, he's not international president at all. So with that said, I know the time has come that I'm gonna, I don't know, this person that's on, let me see if they want to talk. Leslie, you want to say anything that you was here on the Zoom? Hello? I'll ask to unmute. Because I'm going to be shutting down the radio show. If you have something to say, if not, okay. So thank you for listening. I'm sorry that the Mixler wasn't up. I'm going to record this and then put it into the Mixler, and then you guys can hear it whenever you can. Always subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's where you get all live. I have a lot more to say about this Alejandro and how annoying he is to a lot of members, that he's saying that he's running with Boz. Boz is saying he's not running with him. He's gaslighting you guys, and he can make a difference in anything that he does with Teamster. He cannot make a difference. He's totally against anything to do with, I call him a union buster. He's not cool with the union members. He'll put you underneath the bus in seconds. He's not a Teamster brother. I can't call him my brother because he's not a Teamster brother. I'm sorry. He's way far from that. And just for the record, he's a truck driver, not a journalist. So with that said, thank you for listening to the What the Heck Show here on Union Power Radio. If you're going to bring me out, I know you are. You're going to go do your little podcast, your 30-minute or 26-minute, whatever, 15-minute podcast, and try to blow me up, my man. I already know what you're coming with. It's all right. I got something for you, though. I got something for you. Just keep it up. Keep bringing me out, and I'll keep coming out. All right? Thank you for listening to the Real Teamsters, and keep your head up. I have a lot of scenarios that I want to talk about in the past. Let me see. I got a little bit more time. So I just want to give you guys a heads up with this violence in the workplace anywhere in UPS so far. So please, guys, if you're outside of work, off duty, do not wear that fucking uniform at all, because it could happen to anyone. It could be a road rage incident that you get out of the car and somebody's filming you with a uniform on, even though you're off duty, off the property. UPS considers that a violence in the workplace. Okay, so do yourself a favor. If you want to wear the pants, fine. It doesn't have UPS on it, the logo on it, what they pride for. Anything else, don't wear that ugly brown shitty fucking uniform to be off duty. Take it off. Put a hoodie on, a black hoodie, white hoodie, yellow hoodie, anything but a brown hoodie. You know, anything that's not has their label on it, their trademark on it. Because if you get into an incident, someone is fucking filming you, and they're taking it and they're sending it to them. And when they see that, even though you're off duty, they're discharging you for the label. They're not discharging me because you knock somebody the fuck out. They're discharging because you wore the uniform while knocking that guy out, or having road rage, or arguing with your wife, or arguing with your mother-in-law, or anything that has to do off the property that is your business. And I say it's their business what happens off the property. But when they got you on camera with a uniform on is they become their business because all they think about is who's going to sue them because this guy was off duty and wearing a uniform. We have it in the policy that you're not supposed to be wearing the uniform leaving the facility. So, guys, whoever's listening, just please advise your coworkers also. Don't wear that uniform when you're off duty. When you finish your job as a package driver and you clock out, take that shit off. Take that ugly, shitty fucking shirt off. You know, I don't know. No one, I don't know what girl will find that fucking shirt attractive, but just take it off. Put in a regular t-shirt. You can even wear one of these Union Power Radio t-shirts and you leave. So and then if something does happen that is out of your control, at least you don't have a uniform on and no one's recording and they can't get you for violence in the workplace and unbecoming a UPS driver. So that's the message I have. It's other incidents that I want to bring up to keep you aware. And just like I said, I want to do this to educate people. This guy brought me out with this shit, and I had to do it, man. I didn't want to do it, man, but I had to do it. So I know he's gonna come back. He's gonna go on Facebook and talk shit about me. It's okay. I'm okay with it, guys. I'm okay with it. Don't be like, oh shit, hey, oh. Don't worry. I listen and I'll have a reaction to that. If he wants to battle on this shit with this, we could do that battle. I'm with it. You know, I could do smooth selling or rough seas, whatever the fuck it is. He is not that guy. I guarantee you. And Sean O'Brien, you really don't have to worry about that guy. He is not that guy. He's talking a lot of this shit that he's made different. Yeah, he's made very different with a skirt. Sissy bitch. Anyway, that's what it is. And thank you for listening to the What the Heck show here on Union Power Radio. I can't wait to hear Alejandro. All right, guys, thank you. The What the Heck show, Union Power Radio. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be here.